911, what is the location of your emergency?
4748 France Court.
Is this a police or medical?
My boyfriend is dead.
Okay, send the line for the fire department. Do not hang up.
Fire risk. Just tell me exactly what happened there.
My boyfriend and I were playing last night, and I put him in his case and we were playing, like kind of hide and seek kind of thing. So I fell asleep, and I woke up, and he was dead in the suitcase, so I don't know what happened.
Okay, is he hanging from somewhere or what, ma'am?
No, I pulled him out of the suitcase.
He was in a suitcase?
Yes, and I fell asleep.
Right, is he breathing?
No.
I need you to get him on the floor, flat on his back for me, okay?
I did. I tried giving him CPR.
Yeah, okay.
Purple.
Okay, listen to me. Lay him flat on his... Okay, ma'am, listen to me. I want you to lay him flat on his back for me on the floor.
I did.
Okay,
He's stiff and purple.
Okay, ma'am, that's fine. We're still going to do compressions on him, okay? Place the heel of your hand on his breastbone, right in the center of the chest.
Yes.
Put your other hand on top of that hand.
Just by looking at him, you can tell.
Okay, ma'am.
Please. Okay, he just gurgled.
Okay, listen to me. Place the heel of your hand right between his chest, right between his breastbones.
Yes.
Put your other hand on top of that hand.
Yes,
we want to pump his chest to me hard and fast, twice per second. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Who pronounced?
She did.
Oh, right there.
This is 42-year-old Sarah Boone, who you just heard on the 911 call a few seconds ago. Her boyfriend was 42-year-old George Torres Jr., who she locked inside a suitcase the night before, ultimately leading to him dying of suffocation. Sarah's explanation is that it was a totally unintentional and unforeseen accident, but what she's completely unaware of at this particular moment is the fact she recorded 2 videos on her phone last night, the first of which was taken at 11:12 p.m., and shows her laughing at George while he's zipped up in the suitcase. But George isn't laughing. He's asking to be let out and repeatedly stating that he can't breathe. The second video was recorded 11 minutes later, showing the same thing, except the suitcase was flipped over and in a different area of the apartment. Sarah is both unmistakably and heavily intoxicated in these videos, which may explain the fact she didn't delete them. It would be safe to assume that she has no idea the videos exist. And yes, you will see the moment she becomes aware of their existence. But we first have to acknowledge how this episode was even possible, and that would be the Law and Crime Network. They sent us the uncompressed documents that comprise this video, and almost every case we have covered, or will cover, is already available in its raw form on this channel, which includes the 2 main items of public record in the case of Sarah Boone, starting with the body cam footage, which is right where we left off.
Hello there.
I had a cigarette lit.
I'll get it for you, okay? Wait 1 second, okay?
I really need something to drink.
Okay,
I got my Dr. Pepper on the counter.
Okay, we'll take care of you. Give me 1 second. What's going on?
Sorry,
I just got here, so fill me in.
No problem. Like, he and I were putting a puzzle together. We've been doing some artwork together.
You are putting a puzzle together?
Yes, we have a puzzle that we started in there.
Okay.
Like, having a good time with one another. But we're drinking. We had a bottle of wine last night.
Okay. Fine.
So then it's like, we decided to play hide and seek, right?
Okay.
So he gets in the suitcase. Okay?
Who is this guy?
That's my ex-husband. My former husband.
How did he live here with you guys?
No. I called him over here.
Okay, okay.
I didn't know what to do.
Here, let's talk in private, okay?
I called you guys. All we had was a bottle of wine. Literally, just a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Doing puzzle artwork. Then we decided to play hide and seek. That's all that happened.
Okay, okay. Here, let me fill this deputy in, okay?
Please, may I have my Dr. Pepper? I am so cotton-mouthed right now. It's on the counter.
I can't remove anything from out of the house.
I'm so thirsty. Like, I'm
Here, I want you to sit down because I don't want you passing out. This is probably a lot for you to deal with, right? Sit.
May I have some water? Just water.
I can get you some water, okay?
The officer then talks to Sarah's ex-husband.
About 11:30 is when I started calling to find out, because this is supposed to be her day.
He referred to the fact that Sarah was meant to have custody of their son today.
She's generally not very good about always doing it. She drink.
They called back and said she was still there, or she came back.
So I was calling to find out if she was going to be getting him or not today.
From school?
Yes.
Okay.
Got over here, told her she needed to call 911, get somebody over here. And then basically she said she needed to go outside, have a drink and a cigarette. But I called her.
Give me 1 second, okay?
He's currently on parole because of it, so...
Because of domestic violence with her?
Yes.
Okay.
He explains that George has been arrested for domestic violence multiple times against Sarah, and that Sarah's literally bailed him out every time.
I don't know
Oh, she's getting water from this tap. Probably gonna pass out on us. Okay, well, listen.
The police officer asks the ex-husband to stick around for a little while longer. She then gets a notepad and returns to Sarah to collect more information.
At some point, you put him in the suitcase?
No, he got in the suitcase. So he thought it would be funny to be put in the suitcase. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to joke with you and I'll zip you up and make him, squirm a little bit, whatever it is. But then I fell asleep. I fell asleep.
Where was the suitcase?
Right where it is.
Right down there?
Yes.
You zipped him in there?
Yes.
Thought he would be funny, a little
It
joke.
was. We both were laughing about it.
Okay.
And then I fell asleep.
Where did you fall asleep at?
Upstairs. I just totally forgot.
So you began to do CPR on him?
Yes. Yes.
About
And he
what time
gurgled.
this morning
Like he
did you
gurgled.
start doing that CPR?
No, it was the afternoon. And air was coming out and he was gurgling, but I could just tell by looking at him.
But you knew how to do CPR. You were doing that on your own?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to sit back down because I don't want
Can
you...
I have one more sip of water, please?
Yeah, go.
Can I have a cigarette, please?
Ma'am, I can't take anything out of the house.
It's on the back porch.
Nope, all of it. It's secure, okay?
The officer then confirms the ex-husband will be taking custody of the child.
And your child is in school right now. He's not here with you.
No. He's in school.
He's in school. How old is he?
This will be a fun one. He's 9. He's third grade.
I can't even start with how you would explain something like this. Okay.
The ex-husband leaves, and the officers wait for investigators to arrive.
Can I please just have a cigarette? They're on the back porch.
Not right now. We can't have you go and get anything. Why don't you sit in the shade?
The investigators then arrive.
Hey, Sarah. Did you get enough water? No, if you want to stay seated, I don't want you getting lightheaded. So remember I said the detectives were going to come out and talk to you and go from there. They're here. They're going to ask you a few questions and then go from there, okay? All right.
All right, sir. My name's Chelsea. My partner, Scott.
They ask Sarah what happened.
So he decided to get in the suitcase. So I thought it would be funny and he was laughing about it too, to dip him up in there. I go upstairs and fell asleep. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
After you zipped them up, did you move the bag around and mess with them at all, or you just zipped it up and walked away
And I
laughing?
both were laughing about it, but I went upstairs and I fell asleep.
Okay.
I'm afraid for my life. I want you to know that. I am afraid
Why is that?
for my life. His family have never liked me.
Have you called any of them?
We talked to his daughters yesterday.
No, I mean, about this. Does
No.
anyone know? Okay.
They're
So
going to kill me.
Okay,
Do
well,
they live local?
Yes, they're down the road. They're going to kill me.
The detectives reassure Sarah that she's not about to get murdered, and then go in to investigate the apartment.
Just stay seated, okay, Sarah? I know you're panicking, okay? Just relax. We'll come and talk to you. We'll keep checking on you.
This police officer was brilliant. Her temperament was perfect for the situation. The investigators simply asked Sarah to stay somewhere else for the night, and to come to the police station the following day with any questions she might have. Sarah stayed with her ex-husband, then showed up at the sheriff's office the next day at 3:51 p.m. with an entire handwritten page of questions, the first of which was about when she's getting back her phone.
I'm going to have you sit in the green chair. It doesn't move. Appreciate you coming in. Yes, ma'am.
Sarah takes out her page of questions, which the investigator semi-acknowledges then brushes off.
So obviously, he received his autopsy. So I'm going to read you your rights again because we have to talk about that. Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to talk to me?
No.
And do you understand what I just read you?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
Sarah has no idea what just happened.
This morning we went to his autopsy, and we were informed of some injuries that he has by the doctor. So he had some injuries to his left shoulder. He had a cut near his lip. We could see his mouth was a little
I haven't laid a
swollen.
hand on him.
Okay.
Forensics have since proven that George sustained his injuries the night he died, and he didn't have them before entering the apartment.
Also, too, he fell off my son's bike.
Okay.
So I don't know. And he's notorious for running into the wall or the hall tree. So
Okay.
The investigator details further injuries, including a contusion on his neck.
And they're all recent. They occurred recently. It wasn't something that occurred post or that occurred a week ago, or 2 days ago, 3 days ago. They definitely occurred, the night leading up to when he was.
In all honesty, we have not gotten into it. I have no idea what it is. No idea what it is. We had a good time sitting on the back porch, having wine, and smoking a couple of cigarettes, and then decided to go inside and literally paint, do puzzles, and play, and listen to music. That's why.
She had all night to set this up, which is the issue. For all we know, she could have designed this entire scene of events from scratch. There is a 12-hour gap between the timestamp on her videos to the moment police showed up on her doorstep, which is plenty of time to assemble what looks like a very pleasant scene of events that in no way precipitated a drunken act of revenge that ultimately led to murder.
Nobody got out of sorts. This is what's mind-blowing to me. Like, I have no clue. Nobody laid a hand on anybody.
He also had, like on the left side of his forehead, he had basically bruising, and on like his head and his skull.
I have no idea.
As if something hit him.
I
considered
have not
force
touched him.
trauma.
I have not touched him. I have not touched him. I have no idea. We had a good day. It was a good day. We've had good days lately. It's been good. Like, I don't even know where this is coming from.
The interrogator now brings up Sarah's last call to police, reporting domestic violence.
You said a month ago he hit you with a curtain rod.
Yeah, with a curtain rod. That's why I can't believe you guys didn't take that either.
She just referred to the fact that George didn't face charges for the alleged assault.
Like, we've been good. I don't know if, like, it's since the last time he got out of jail. Like, we've been good, and he's been having his classes.
What do you mean by good? What's your definition of good?
The probation officer?
No, you said you guys have been good. What's your definition?
I've been good. I don't think you all understand. He comes at me all the time. He comes at me. So it's either I flee or try to go upstairs and go to sleep. That's usually what it is. And I don't know if you talk to Brian about any of that, but most of the time when I flee, I go over there. So
Sarah is detailing possible motives for retaliation. Routine procedure would be to keep her train of thought locked on this element, provide encouragement and understanding while inquiring further into the suspect's grievances with the victim. The only problem is that the lead interrogator really doesn't like Sarah, and abandons the task of pretending to, which makes this a significantly flawed, yet remarkably entertaining process to bear witness.
Right, but you're saying that you guys have been good, and when I asked you yesterday, the last incident that you could remember was the curtain rod incident, which you said was a month ago, so...
Give or take.
Right.
The investigator challenges an earlier assertion which remodels the discourse, and the suspect then starts defending her relationship with the victim.
I really love him. Like I do. And I feel like I can help him. He came a really long way, and he was trying. He was really trying.
She somehow transitions into the principle of how she doesn't normally drink, and it's kinda only because of George that she drinks at all.
The occasional wine, whatever, or if it's a weekend, that's when you have a good time. You don't have to wake up the next day. I have to wake up the next day and do things. I can do 50 things at once and still know the 50 things more prior that I need to get done. He can't process like that. He didn't process like that. So the next thing you know, he doesn't want to deal with it. I'm going to go get something to drink. Nobody knew George better than I did. I say that I knew George better than himself. And I tried in every way, shape, and form. Ask everyone. I helped him. I took care of him.
Sarah talks about George's anger management classes and the supposed progress he was making.
And would always come home and show me his papers. And we would look over his papers together. Where it's like, wow, you actually are learning this in class? And some of the stuff that they would show them, like videos, he would come home and be like, Sarah, I'm so sorry for what I've done to you. He changed.
And that's why you're still with him, even though he's done all these things to you. And
when I tell you I love him, I love him.
When you love somebody, you have limits.
Everybody tells me that.
At some point, somebody gets enough.
In the next moment, the detective will say, then they have to do something to defend themselves. Sarah's temperament will completely switch at the completion of this sentence.
Then they have to do something to defend themselves.
I would just flee. And I don't know if you would like to see on my phone, or I think it's actually on a laptop.
She explains how she once filed a restraining order against George, then for some reason brings up his ex-wife.
When I say a monster, she's a monster.
The interrogator lets her vent about the ex-wife for 2 minutes. She will now bring the focus back to the investigation.
since talking yesterday, do you remember any, like, timelines better, like what time you guys were playing, what time he was zipped up in the luggage, what time you went upstairs?
We started because we cleaned the house a little bit, did some laundry.
She recalls the game starting at around 4 p.m. and her going to sleep at around midnight.
So I have 4 and I have midnight, so there's a big gap. So I'm just curious, like, if you recall when you went upstairs to hide in the shower, or...
Like when we started to play, hide and seek?
Yeah.
Well, we went inside probably about, if I had to guess, we weren't out there too long. Worked on the puzzle again, finished it, started to paint. Well, started listening to music for a little bit, started to paint. Can we turn the music off? No problem. Start at the top, paint, whatever. I don't want to paint anymore. Let's just, come on. Okay, you want to play hide and seek? What he does is, okay, tag, you're it. So it's like, okay, we know. Okay, take off.
That's not how you play hide and seek.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we did.
Have you guys ever played you said you played hide and seek like probably 3 times in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
When you have played, have you ever zipped him up in a suitcase prior?
No.
Okay.
The suitcase originally is in our closet, buried all the way to the back. I know the CSI people saw our closet. Our closet needs to be cleaned out really bad. My son's clothes need to be cleaned out really bad because they don't fit him anymore, and I'm tired of looking at them. So he took it upon himself, including that suitcase, to take it downstairs so we can get all of our clothes, our donations and everything, and just leave the whole thing by the clothing and shoe thing at my son's school.
Gotcha. No, I'm just asking, in the past, like, have you ever zipped him up in anything, jokingly or not, but obviously
No.
I understand, you're claiming that Sunday it was a joking matter, you were laughing,
Yes.
he was laughing, but what I'm just asking is in the past, like, is it something
Absolutely
that you
not.
guys normally do?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Okay, so do you remember making any videos or maybe having any photos, videos that you remember doing on your phone on Sunday?
No.
No?
I think I took a picture of a dog.
Okay. So I have something that I want to show you that we found, and it was from your phone.
With regard to the colossal realm of interrogation footage, the level of notoriety these next moments acquired is virtually unprecedented. I feel like this picture belongs on a wall somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it?
If you need to move it around, go ahead.
No, I don't remember that.
For everything you've done to me. For everything you've done to me.
Your battery's about to die.
Shut it down.
Oh, okay.
Let me.
Sarah may have been hoping that that was the end of it. Really can't say that I blame her for that.
Is it long? Because I don't know how much I can take.
Mm-mm.
No.
I don't know how much I can take.
I don't know how to find her.
Do I have to watch this? I continuously throw up. I don't sleep. I don't want to see it, if that's okay.
You can either explain it or we take it for what it is.
Yeah. We're just trying to give you the opportunity to tell us what's going on. That's it.
It's that long?
2 minutes.
No.
For everything you've done to me. For everything you've done to me. Fuck you. Stupid. Sarah. That's my name. Don't wear it up. Sarah.
I don't want to watch it, please. Okay.
That's him saying that he can't breathe, and you saying fuck
So
you.
this is upside down.
The interrogators should not be cutting each other off, but their missteps can be forgiven on this occasion due to the power of the evidence, which the lead detective will now focus on.
Guys, this is killing me right now.
So this image is upside down, and then this small video that occurred 11 minutes later, it's flipped over the other way, closer to your dining room table.
Okay.
Now, he's obviously still in there. So he didn't, how did it go from the back to the front?
I flipped it.
Okay.
My plan was not to go upstairs and go to sleep,
Well, that's what you did.
Yeah.
but not intentional.
No, you told me you went upstairs because
What?
you were
Stop
getting
here.
ready for bed.
Just to be clear, Sarah still has no idea how screwed she is. She just referred to an earlier statement that she didn't lock up the suitcase all the way, so George could get out.
Stopped here.
Okay, but
Where's here?
show me where you can see any fingers coming out.
It's, and his head's right here.
Mm-hmm.
So going like this, it's like this.
But why is he saying I can't breathe, and why is he pushing on it as if he can't get out?
And it doesn't show a hole.
There's no
gap.
hole. There's no fingers. I don't see his fingers. There's no hole.
I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, I don't know, like, what you want me to tell you.
I'm just telling you what we see and what we've heard from the other video.
I understand.
He's begging for you to let him out. You're laughing in the beginning, and then in the end it sounds kind of like a...
No, it's not malicious.
Well, saying fuck you,
It's not malicious.
then what is that?
My intention was not to leave him in there. Please understand that. My intention was not to leave him in there.
This video is at 11:12 when it starts, so was he in there for like a long time prior to you
No.
recording this?
No.
I think we've all gathered by now that Sarah might be twisting the truth in her favor a little bit. She seems to have forgotten that 2 minutes ago she claimed to have no recollection of this incident, so her impeccable memory all of a sudden seems rather selective.
But I didn't think that he was, like, panicky. Like,
So pushing up on a suitcase saying, Sarah, 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 I can't breathe, and you're the only one laughing,
Okay.
and you're the only one saying derogatory comments, like you're mad.
No. Please don't, I don't mean to sound negative, and I don't know if I can say this, but, like, it's like you guys are kind of trying to, like, feed me.
The interesting thing about Sarah is that her intuition is correct. She sort of recognizes what the police are doing here, but still has no idea of the ramifications. Her energy resembles that of someone who feels the police are about to start rumors about her.
Like,
No, I'm just trying to show you a video that you no longer want to watch because you probably don't want to know the outcome of how and what you said.
my plan was not to go upstairs and go to sleep. My plan was not to, he'll be up here any minute.
But
But
you
again-
willingly went upstairs and went to sleep. No one forced you to go upstairs and get
My
ready
plan
for
wasn't
bed.
also to leave him in the suitcase,
So why didn't you take him out?
because I went upstairs, and then I fell asleep.
But why didn't you consciously think he's asking to come out? He
I
can't
didn't do it
breathe.
intentionally.
What do you think is going to happen if you leave somebody in a confined space like that?
Well, I thought by not zipping it up all the way, it would be okay. My plan was not to leave him in the
And what was
suitcase,
your plan?
waiting for him to come upstairs. I thought it was, like, I thought he was okay. Like, I didn't, that, you
He's
all...
telling you he's not. He's telling you, Sarah, I can't breathe. He's saying your name, and you're like, that's my name, don't wear it out.
Guys, that's how we are with each other. The whole suitcase thing never happened before.
Sarah tries to move on to another topic, but the interrogator doesn't allow it and brings her back to the specifics of the evidence.
Again, his head is closer to us facing the video, so we should be able to see fingers, and we don't see anything. We see no movement of him trying to unzip it or physically unzipping it. All we see is pushing up, trying to push out of it.
Please do not assume.
I mean, you put him in, so why didn't you take him out?
Because I was upstairs and I fell asleep.
No, before you went upstairs. You, like, consciously had to walk upstairs. You obviously remember going to bed because you were able to give me a time frame on that. And you specifically told me that you went upstairs.
My intention is not for this to happen. I am sick about it. I've never done anything like this before in the past. I am sick.
The lead interrogator starts playing the video as Sarah is mid-sentence reiterating her innocence.
I don't know. I don't know what you all want me to tell you because this was not in any way, shape, or form
You admit to moving the suitcase, like, over. So
You roll it.
You roll it over. Like, it's not like...
I didn't want it to be like that.
You didn't want him to be upside down? How do you even get upside down?
Right.
Fuck you.
You guys are killing me right now. I don't know how you want me to say it. I didn't mean to leave him in there.
Okay.
What's your reasoning for not calling 911 sooner?
Because I didn't know what to do and how horrific it was. I called Ryan, and 5 minutes later I called you guys? Not even 5 minutes. And it was continually doing CPR with the dispatch on the phone.
So when he asked to be let out, what's your reasoning for not letting him out?
When I was upstairs?
No, when he's asking on the video. He asked multiple times. He asked to be let out. I can't breathe. Why didn't you let him out?
Well, number one, I had no idea it was going to end like that.
Okay.
Number one.
Okay.
Number two, just, you know what? I'll give you 5 minutes or so in there. They'll give you 5 minutes or so.
5 minutes for what?
This was an absolutely imperative moment to allow the suspect to elaborate, but the lead interrogator cuts her off.
Well, based off the video, one video's at 11:12 and the next one's at 11:23, so you actually gave him at least 11 minutes per video recording. So my thing is, when it stopped, he asked multiple times, I mean, why? Why did you not let him out? It's just a simple question.
To be honest with you, I don't know.
Were you punishing him?
No. Just...
Well, that's what you're saying in the video.
This is what you get. This is what you make me feel like.
See, and then it's all backfired on me. I will never drink alcohol again.
Okay.
I don't care what it is in any way, shape, or form.
But let's get back to this. When he's begging for his life, telling you he can't breathe, let me out, and you say, fuck you, why don't you just let him out? What are you trying to prove to him? There was obviously something in your head that you were thinking of when he was asking to be let out, and you're like, no.
Again, it's the boy calling wolf. And it's not fair. It is not fair. You guys are trying to, again, he's in there. Night, night.
He's begging for his life, telling you he can't breathe.
I don't know what you want me to tell you. I don't. I didn't intentionally mean for this to happen.
But my question is, why didn't you just let him out prior to going up?
I don't know why.
He's begging to be let out. He's not laughing. He's not having fun.
So are you guys, so what is it you're trying to,
We're just trying to figure out why.
Why? What?
Why?
What was the motivation for leaving him in the bag?
Why he was left in the bag? Why the video?
I didn't have any motivation. It was he and I having a great day, fooling around and being stupid.
You know, it's a good analogy for the day, excluding the fact that he's got a bump on the back of his head, a bump on the front of his head, and his lip is busted, and he has a bump on his eye.
I don't know what you all want me to tell you. This is not fair that you all are assuming that that's from me.
Where else did it come from?
If you were, say it's opposite, you were in the suitcase, and you're asking to be let out, should they not let you out?
Eventually. I'm guessing. I'm blaming it on the wine.
Blaming it on the wine? After talking to you, everything was laughing and fun. Now we're watching a video where it's not laughing and fun. He's begging for his life, and you are in a very angry voice telling him to fuck off.
No. It's not fair that you guys keep trying to say that that's what I did.
If he could push it open, why wouldn't he have gotten out himself? Why would he beg you to open it?
Okay. And tell you he can't breathe.
Okay.
If someone can do something for themselves, they're going to do it. They don't need assistance.
You two didn't lay hands on each other.
No. No. I don't have anything.
You're right. You're telling us that we're assuming stuff, but what we're simply doing is telling you what we saw in the video and repeating what you told us.
I understand. Because I don't remember that.
Okay. Doesn't mean it didn't happen just because you don't remember it.
Sarah now gets freaked out by the male detective. She thinks he's texting someone about her, which creates an absurd yet hilarious moment.
So, is the texting thing something about me? What's...
The what? Texting? Oh, no, I'm texting.
No, I have one last question. You realize you're the person that killed him, right?
I thought about that.
Okay, you left him in a bag when he's begging you, saying, I can't breathe, let me out, and you said, fuck you.
Not intentionally.
You got up, and you went up to bed.
You all,
Please sit down.
listen to me. I did not intentionally kill him.
I got you on video screaming, fuck you.
This is what it feels like when you're choking me. There's still feelings towards it. You wouldn't say it if you didn't feel it.
And then you flipped the bag around several times.
I didn't do that intentionally.
You didn't intentionally flip the bag around?
No, why would I do that?
Well, you
Good
told us
question,
you
you
did.
did.
When he was upside down.
Right.
Well, you had to put him upside down.
You can't get in a suitcase upside down because...
It had to have been on its back with the lid open for him to get in there, for you to zip it up. Then it shows it on the other side with him in it, so you had to flip it to there. Then there's another video where it's on his back again, so you had to flip it to
I'm leaving it like this, please. I'm leaving it like this. I did not intentionally do this.
You left him in there. You did trying to
Oh my
dance around the
gosh,
fact you left him in there.
This is not...
You didn't leave him in there?
It's not cool. Like, this is not cool.
It's not cool. You intentionally left him in there and left the room. You went upstairs to a different room.
I would do anything for him.
Well, you gave up checking up on him. So.
Wouldn't let him out of a suitcase.
Oh, gosh.
Anybody looking at it doesn't... I don't think anybody would look at that video and go, George is having fun right now.
The discourse repeats itself a few more times, and then Sarah brings out her list of questions.
So, am I getting my phone back?
No.
Not today.
What about Lucas's laptop?
No.
Not today.
Not today.
How do I go about getting his wedding ring, engagement ring?
It's at the medical examiner's office. It'll come to us eventually, and then...
It'll be released to
the
next
family.
of kin.
Yeah, okay.
I bought it for him.
Okay.
That is a civil issue. It was on his finger, it goes to them, they're the ones that are going to release it. We don't have any say in that.
So I won't get that back. So, what's next?
They're going to come and swab your fingers.
No, I'm talking about, like, in the long run. Like, what do I need to, like, do I need to be doing something, or, like...
I can't tell you, like, what to do.
I mean, like, so, like, for... Like, I don't understand, like, I don't know if you guys are just gonna, like... I'm not admitting anything about being intentional, and like...
We told you everything that we have. You know everything that we know.
So after this, what? I'm done? In itself, for me to have to live with getting him out and doing what I did is punishment enough. Nonetheless, I have to live without him now.
His daughters, too.
Are you trying to make it worse?
Sorry, what?
Are you trying to make it worse?
Just making a comment. I mean,
CSI, that was there yesterday.
Forensics take her DNA and fingerprints. The investigators then return.
Okay, Sarah. So, you're not free to go. Okay.
This comment seriously puts Sarah on edge, but she still won't quite be fully aware of what's happening. This is coupled with the fact the investigators now try to get a solemn declaration out of her to close out the interrogation. The psychological dynamics of the moment are extraordinary.
Oh, do you promise everything you told us was the truth? Or no? Everything we've talked about today?
Yes. What do you mean?
The investigator explains that it's just protocol.
Do you promise and swear that everything we've talked about today has been true and accurate to the best of your knowledge?
To the best of my knowledge.
Correct. Yes.
Why?
That's
anytime
how you
we talk
swear.
to somebody, we...
The male detective re-explains that it's just routine, only in a far more comforting tone. But the tone doesn't do a whole lot to reassure Sarah. She looks about ready to get swallowed up by a wormhole and take her chances in a separate dimension.
It's not a trick question.
To the best of my knowledge?
To the best of your knowledge.
Everything that you've told us today is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge.
Yes, but it was not intentional.
Okay. Okay.
All right, do me a favor, stand up. I need you to turn around, face the wall, put your hands behind your back. Do you have anything in your pockets that I should know about?
No. Why is this happening?
Because George is dead.
Not intentionally. So this was a trick.
You were read your rights.
Why is
You're
this
trying-
happening?
Because
Before you all said I could leave. So what am I supposed to do now?
I
had a
don't
sneaky
work in
suspicion
there.
this was going to happen. And I need water, like, really bad, please.
How does she?
You all tricked me down here.
An officer comes to take Sarah to the jail, but Sarah has questions first.
Those holding cells, the holding cells, am I going to be put in one of those?
I don't know.
Last time I had a panic attack.
Let them know that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go ahead, stand up.
I have not.
So what am I going to do with my purse? What made you all decide to do this?
Made us decide to do this?
Uh-huh.
George is dead.
You guys, I knew this was going to happen.
You did?
Sarah was taken to the Orange County Jail at 5:44 p.m. She was charged with second-degree murder and held without bond, which keep in mind was in late February of 2020, just before the entire planet went into lockdown due to a pandemic. So Sarah must have had a real fun time getting acclimated to the new environment. She's been in the county jail since, with a trial date set for April 10th of this year. She's currently working with her 7th attorney. 6 have already filed motions to get the fuck out of there, and all of them cited the same reason, which was irreconcilable differences.